Good morning, let's try that again. As Dave said a minute ago, let's try this again, everyone. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Okay. Are we going to start it this way this morning? Well, here you go. Cheers to you in my fa la 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 mug. Okay. Let's try again. Hi, everybody. So good Monday morning to you. Today is December 8th. I just realized this. I'm a little kind of not icky this morning, but like just before coffee time, FaceTime gives you, or Facebook gives you kind of like year in review kind of little photo albums. And it gave me 2025 in review. And the first few pictures were not great ones. They were ones of Eric in the hospital. And then as the little slideshow went on, I kept thinking to myself, why aren't there more pictures of Eric? And then it like, stupid. I know it. Then it just hit me. I'm like, oh, it's because he wasn't here. And on that note, then it also hit me that today is December 8th. So it is exactly 11 months since Eric passed away. So I kind of was hit with a little bit of a doozy today, even though as we get to our brewing topics, yesterday was also a day. Anyway, so I'm going to try to be peppy and happy and smiley. And, I'm sure, in some ways you guys are like, oh gosh, Amy, stop with, the being sad, but that's not going to happen, folks. But yeah, so like true story, that's what happened this morning. I was making my coffee and, doing my quick check of emails and text messages and things that may have come in overnight or super early this morning, anything that was urgent in nature that needed a response right away. And then Facebook, was like, here's 2025 in review. And, and it's kind of nice because like it does something to the photos. It like zooms in on some of them. And I'm like, I didn't even know I had that photo. And sure enough, there was, the couple pictures of Eric in the very beginning, and he was in the hospital, and they were not great pictures. Obviously, they kind of tugged at the heartstrings, but I did. Then afterwards, I was like, gosh, like, it's not that many pictures of Eric. Like, why? Like, I know, stupid. Anyway, so good morning. So first of all, if you are here, like, thank you. It always, I'm always amazed that anyone is watching, whether you're watching it live with us now or whether you are watching it later on. But I'm so grateful. And I'm thinking to myself, are you guys done with your holiday shopping? Like, can you afford your Monday morning coffee time with me? Because if so, like, cheers, my friends. I've still got a few items on my list, and I finally, I did an online order last night for a few things, and I kind of got sidetracked. It's like one of those things. I went into my email. Well, I went online to order presents, but then I check email, and then there's like, oh, it's a $50 gift card that you earned. And I'm like, oh, I should probably use that. And then that starts that spiral, right? Have you ever been there, done that? And then you finish, you close up your computer and you're like, well, dadgummit, I never did what it was I originally went to do on the computer. But anyway, so I'm almost done with my shopping, not completely. It'll be a different Christmas, but my daughter, it was funny the other day, I was talking and, and I try to have the same number of gifts for everybody, grandkids not included. They're excluded from any number limit. But anyway, I've just trying to finish that up. And then it occurred to me, you guys could be shopping right now. You could be out and about doing other things, but instead you're sitting here with me and you're having fun. So we're going to have fun. I'm going to be peppy. See? I'm peppy. I'm happy. Okay, so let's get going. So good morning to everybody. Oh, yes, Sydney, you are correct, my friend. Sydney, I just have to tell you, you are on it. Okay, you're going to need to message me later, and I'll message you later. Or you can message me later. But yes, you are right. This is our first time trying to live stream on both channels. We'll see how that works. As you guys know, we launched Heart and Home Richmond, and it's still just getting off the ground. So we're still trying to work on that a little bit. I'm making preparations for future. Again, it was something that Eric and I had decided that we wanted to do in the future. And then with everything, future kind of happened a little bit earlier. So I decided it was probably a good time to try that. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, yeah. So we are live streaming on both channels. I don't know that we have that many Heart and Home Richmonders actually watching, but if so, welcome. We're happy to have you joining in with us here on Heart and Home, and we are having our coffee time. So let me see. Did I miss anybody? Because it devastates me when somebody is here and I've done my morning good mornings and I miss you. So I think I got everybody. Oh, no, I didn't. Arifa, I'm so sorry. I'm going to type to you right now. Good morning, Areef. Hey, there you go. Good morning. All right. I love it. This is perfect. I love it. You're all taking care of me on the other side. I love this. So Tracy, hi, Allie. I posted good morning to Amy on the other channel and she seemed to respond to it right away. So I think she's able to see both chat notes. Well, that's awesome. Yes, actually, yes, this is a good point. See, this is where the technical stuff comes in that I got no clue about. Because we are live streaming, our concern or our question from our perspective, was if you were responding or if you were chatting from one channel and I responded, how would that go? And now I see that it does. It does. Heart and Home Orlando, Heart and Home. Oh, this is so cool. I'm so excited. Okay, so now I'm getting a little peppier. Okay, so Allie, good job, you baby girl. She's doing a flippin' fantastic job of getting this going. So everybody give a shout out to Allie for managing the secret that I can't tell you about yet. But remember that beautiful post, a photo that I posted of her a couple weeks ago? It's driving me nuts that we're not allowed to say anything. But we're not allowed to say anything. It's probably going to be another year before we can say anything. But when we do, it'll be big. Anyway, so yeah, good morning. Daryl says Jazzy's going to school a little late today. She's sitting here watching YouTube. She kind of loves this. Jazzy, girl, I love you. I love you, Jazzy. So Jasmine is Daryl and Jen's daughter. Their son Javon is off at college. So their first baby is away at school. So so they're still adjusting to that. And Jazzy in all her glory is in high school now. Just absolutely the sweetest. Just you have such a light, Jazzy. I love it. And she always did, like always, even when she was a little baby. You're like, oh, yeah, Jazzy. You'll remember her. She's big things coming for that one. All right. Good morning, Kim Sikalski. Anybody else that I may have missed again? Good morning. All right. So let's get to our brewing topics because today we're going to live stream again. If you are able to stay, great. If not, that's okay. Because remember, I know you got things you got to do. But we're going to live stream another video. Or premiere it, I guess was what I mean to say. Premiere another video. But today we're going to do it at 10 o'clock instead of 10:15 like we did last week. So I'm going to try to cut out a coffee time a few minutes early so that we can just transition right on over. So with that, let's get going to our brewing topics, shall we, my new friends? All right, let's go. Okay, so brewing topics. Eric's birthday, vacant, leave it empty, and some more this or that, because that was so much fun. We're going to do that. And I promise we'll have a new segment later, but too much video production stuff on Allie's shoulders right now to come up with a new open for that. But that'll be a 2026 goal. Okay, so yesterday was Eric's birthday. It was tough. You know, his birthday always... it's always been December 7th. So it's always kind of hit around the holidays and probably like anybody that has a birthday that's right around Christmas, it probably didn't get as much, ta-da as it should have. But it definitely, as we got older and last year, it was a tough one. And yesterday was tough. I've mentioned it before, and not to do the whole pity party. It's so hard because so many of these firsts and these monumental, important dates that you should be celebrating are all kind of jam-packed. Boom, 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 boom. We go from Thanksgiving to his birthday to Christmas to New Year's to hospice. And then this year right after that, we'll have his celebration of life. So this is it's the year of firsts. And I honestly cannot believe it is 11 months today. That just doesn't seem like that's possible. Like, how am I still alive? Like I don't know how. I don't know how every day I get up and go, but you do, because you don't really have another choice, right? But wow, 11 months. That's just crazy. 11 months without him. But anyway, I'm going to be happy for you today. But yeah, yesterday was his birthday. So we had, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. So let's go ahead and put the picture on. So we had Eric's birthday. So yesterday we had cheesy beef enchiladas. That was one of Eric's favorite things that I would make. So super easy. It's like, which is good because I'm not the chef. My younger sister Jennifer has that distinction in the family. I make it super easy. And this one is easy. And it was funny because Susan, who you all know here on Coffee Time, who's chatting with us all the time, she actually messaged me yesterday while I was in the middle of making them and just checked in to see how I was doing. I got lots of nice text messages from some friends and family who knew it was Eric's birthday, and just checking in to see how things were and what I was doing and if I was okay. And I was making the cheesy beef enchiladas, and they're not, by the way, if you have any, like, if you're savvy with any kind of Mexican food, this is not, this is my version. But it is super easy. And Susan's like, oh, that sounds good. You should post that on Coffee Time and let people know the recipe. So Allie took a picture. We were not, we were literally sitting at a table. We were not prepping for a photo shoot of the cheesy beef enchiladas. But there they are. And I have to tell you, I was a little upset with myself because I didn't have birthday plates. I wanted to have, I didn't think about it at the time. I was just trying to figure out, okay, well, who can come over and have dinner, and will it work? And then I needed to get to the grocery store, and then I just forgot to get birthday plates. But one thing, and Daryl knows this, Eric, we're not drinkers really in the family. We especially Eric never, just never was a drinker. But if he would go out, if they were at a work event or something and they would get a cocktail or something with dinner, Eric made a point to get the girliest, most frou-frou, umbrella, swizzly thing ever, just because he didn't care and he thought it was funny. So I pulled out the girliest napkins that I could find. So anyway, I thought that was funny. But yeah, cheesy beef enchiladas, super easy. If you're like, oh, I don't know what to make, you probably have most of this in your pantry. It's just ground beef, a jar of salsa, some shredded cheddar cheese. You can use any kind of cheese you want, but cheddar is what we usually use. And then tortillas. Brown the ground beef. That's it. Just drain it, dump in almost the whole jar of salsa, whatever jar of salsa you like. If you do mild or medium, hot, whatever. And then mix that up, add some of the shredded cheddar in there, kind of get that a little bit gooey, and then take your tortilla, dump some on it, roll it over. Eric and I would call it the pro-fold. We know how to pro-fold these enchiladas, these tortillas. And then you just basically put a little bit more on top, sprinkle a little bit more cheese on top, and then bake them for about 20 to 30 minutes. It just needs to heat through. And honestly, I think they're really good. So now you could actually make them super spicy. So if you are like my son-in-law Hong and you like a little bite, a little kick, you can really add some other things to make that. But that is a super duper easy base. And if you've got kids, maybe even better because there's not a lot of extra stuff in it. It's a little bit more plain, and if you can even find a salsa that's got a little less of the chunks, don't do the chunky salsa. Anyway, whatever. I digress. We had cheesy beef enchiladas, and so it was a nice little visit as best we could. All right, Daryl popped in. Daryl says his exact line to the waiter was, "Give me the girliest drink you have." That's Eric. 100%. That would be Eric. Oh my goodness. All right, I just wanted to see. Oh, Kim, I went to his Facebook page yesterday just to touch base. I know it's hard. I haven't on Facebook. I haven't put. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like I haven't made myself a widow on Facebook because I'm still married to him. He's just not here married to me. I guess I don't know how that works, but I'm not gonna change that status. I don't think. And then his page, I think there's a way you can do an in memoriam page or something, but I haven't done anything with that either. I'm not there yet. But Susan says, screenshot for our dinner tonight. We played Cheeseburger in Paradise yesterday in honor of Eric's birthday. Oh, that's sweet. If you don't know about Cheeseburger in Paradise, I think we had do you remember? I don't even know when it was. It was over the summer. We did it must have been probably for the 6 months or something when he passed, but we did some video of Eric, Cheeseburger in Paradise. It's one of the songs he sang when he was in the country show at King's Dominion. And that was it. That was it. That goofy Clovis character was the man that stole my heart. So, yeah, anyway, so that was, that was a good one. So yeah, let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, I know. Seriously, Eric was really goofy when it came to that. As far as the drinks, like his dad drank, and so he kind of grew up and didn't really want to partake in that. And I'm not really a drinker either. Like I'm not the person who's going to open up a bottle of wine and have a glass just to have it. Yeah, I don't. But I will say I've learned that I do like a drink called pardon me, the skinny bitch. Sorry. It's Diet Coke and coconut rum. My soon to be daughter-in-law she made that for me, and I love it. And I was like, okay, because you know why? Diet Coke. That's why. Anyway, all right. So yeah, so that was yesterday was Eric's birthday. It was a long day. It was a tough day. And Elizabeth, I just have to tell you a little bit about what Elizabeth went through over the weekend. I'm not going to give all the details because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I have to tell you because I'm really upset about this. Can I tell you, Elizabeth, are you watching? Can I say it? Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. So, Elizabeth's like, I don't know. I'm not watching. I'm playing with Elsie. So they had an event for the military for what her husband does. Oh, bye, Jazzy. She's got to go to school. Yes. Okay. Super vague. Okay. There was an event that they were supposed to go to out of town for them, and so they went. It was supposed to be a family holiday event, and they went and got a hotel room and got Elsie a cute little dress, and then they got there and found out that, there wasn't going to be a party, that they had not budgeted for it. And so anyway, it was just, I don't want to be too, she says be vague. So I'm vague, but anyway, that makes me mad. It was something that she'd been planning for a long time. It was already upsetting because they had planned it on Eric's birthday, but she knew that going into it. So she was able to kind of compartmentalize, okay, well, I'm going to try to have fun and celebrate, a work party for my husband's work. And then, they get there and I'm like, well, what time is the event? She's like, I don't know. They don't really, they're very vague with saying anything, which is okay. Right. Anyway. And then she's like, okay, so they didn't budget. They're not even doing it. I'm like, so you went all the way there and you don't even get to have the party or anything. So anyway, so I'm a little bit mad about that. So I'm just saying, mama bear is always a mama bear, even if your baby is a grown mama bear themselves. So anyway, just a grandmama bear. Oh, that's just depressing. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Brewing topic number 2, which is vacant. If it's vacant, leave it empty. Okay, so this is what I mean by this. If you are selling your home, and I've had many people when they list their home, they've either already moved out, maybe it was a second vacation home for themselves, or, for whatever reason, maybe they already found their new home, they closed on it, they moved out and they moved in, and then they were selling their existing home later. For whatever your personal reason, if you're selling a home and it is vacant, here's some advice for you, because it can be tricky and it's super helpful if you do this. If your home is vacant and empty, then leave it vacant and empty. Don't leave behind just a few miscellaneous items in the garage or in the kitchen or in a closet. Make the effort. If you've moved it out, move it out, because what you don't want is because when someone comes in and tours that home and it's empty, it's vacant, and there's like one random sofa, or there's, there's something in a closet, or there's a couple of things left in the garage, or there's maybe you left bar stools at your kitchen island, or whatever it is. Maybe you left pictures on the wall, or here's a great example. You left TVs on the wall. If you are leaving those TVs and those are going to convey over to the new homeowner, then leave them. If they're not, get rid of them. Because the home is vacant, you're giving you're giving an expectation that you're not intending to give. Because when you've moved out, a buyer goes in assuming that everything that is left is part of the house. For right or for wrong, that's what's happened to the buyer's brain. They're walking in and they're seeing an empty house, except they're seeing TVs. They're seeing, 3 bar stools left at the kitchen island, but everything else is gone. So they're assuming, okay, well, that must be staying in the home. And I know it's hard. So I'm not saying that, obviously if you could have, if you had a way to get rid of the other stuff, you would have, but try to go that extra little step to avoid problems later. Because again, when a buyer goes into a vacant home, their mindset is that what I see is what I get. And, if you have not specifically noted, TVs do not convey, or perfect example, I had this once. There was a chandelier, a lighting fixture that was an heirloom, and it was still hanging in the dining room. And when the buyers went to go see the house, they saw an empty house and they saw this beautiful chandelier. And everybody's expectation, that is a fixed object that is anchored up into the ceiling. So you would assume that that is going to convey. Now, it doesn't have to. You as the seller get to determine what do you want to leave and what do you not want to leave. If you're like, no, look, I love all of those curtains. I handmade them, or my grandmother made those curtains for me. Those are coming with me. Then get them off of the curtain rods. Leave the curtain rods, but take them off the curtain rods. If the curtain rods were hand welded by your great great grandpa, then fine, then remove those. But do that before a buyer comes in and looks at the house, if at all possible. Just do yourself a favor, do the buyer a favor, do your transaction a favor by making sure that your home is if it is vacant and empty, that again, that it looks that way. The one thing that you can do if you're like, I just don't have anywhere else to put it, there's nowhere else to put it, and there's 3 boxes and a bed frame and a blah 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 that's left at the house, okay, then put it in the garage, all of it in the garage, and then you can very specifically say everything in the garage is going to be picked up by the seller. That does not convey. But if it's still scattered throughout the home, it could set an expectation that perhaps the seller intended to leave that for the buyer. And then when the buyer goes and does their final walkthrough, they're like, well, where's that TV? Where's that chandelier? And now all of a sudden we have a last minute urgent problem. So just fix that if you can. That's, again, just some happy advice, some helpful advice. And again, every situation is different, but I have had clients do that kind of everything. I've had them have a vacant home with some stuff left behind. I've had some clients with stuff left behind that they were going to leave, but others that they were going to take. And that the biggest thing are fixtures or anything like that. If there's something that's attached to the wall, go ahead and remove it, or to the ceiling. Again, I actually did have a client and they just replaced, they had taken down the chandelier, or it wasn't a chandelier, it was a different lighting fixture. Excuse me. And they kept the one that came with the home. It was new construction. The one that the builder provided, they kept that. But really what they should have done is, if they were taking that fixture with them and they were going to leave the one that the builder originally, provided with the house, they should have switched that fixture out before the home and before photos were taken. That's another one. Before the photos are taken. Because remember, somebody comes in, they look at the photos of the house, they want to see the house based on, what they're seeing. Now, obviously, some homes are furnished, so, that's a different story. But again, if the home is relatively vacant, they see the home is vacant in the photos, just make the changes. Do yourself a favor. I promise it will be worth avoiding pitfalls at the end of the process if you can just be a little bit more proactive with that. And see if that helps you a little bit. Furman, good morning. Melody popped in. Good morning, everybody. Kim, I don't know if I said good morning to you, but good morning to you, Kim. And she says that's frustrating. Yes. And Elizabeth says it was a very good getaway with my family and having Snugglefest in the hotel with Elsie. Yes, it's true, but that still makes me mad that that they didn't get a little lovely family moment to have a work celebration. Good morning, Angela. We're happy to have you here as well. Goodness. All right. And then Sydney, makes sense. No disappointment, no questioning, and wanting to possibly change the offer. Exactly, because in the contract, it will state what is and is not going to. Well, it could, would, should state what is going to convey. So when you have the listing, if I have a listing and my clients are going to leave the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator, those are usually the three biggest items that you would assume should stay, but don't always. But things like the ovens, of course, that's going to stay. The microwave, of course, that's going to stay if it's built in. Dishwasher, of course, that's going to stay. But washer, dryer, refrigerator are usually three biggies that people question. But I've had clients go, well, the refrigerator in the kitchen is going to stay, but the one in the garage is going with me. I always give my clients a conveyance form so that they can actually list on there what is going to convey. And then I upload it with my other documents or disclosures in the MLS so that any buyer's agent can provide that to their clients so that they can see from the seller's perspective, this is staying, this is not. But even then, guys, it can get wonky. But in the contract, I usually, in the listing, I will copy and paste what the seller and what the seller's agent has stated in the MLS. If I'm representing the buyer and I'm submitting an offer, I will copy and paste what the MLS says that is going to convey, and I will put that in the contract. Now, if my client's like, hey, look, the washer, dryer, fridge are not listed as conveying, but we really need those, then I will add those in there. But generally speaking, I make sure that what you say is coming is what my clients are expecting. And if there is something that has been specifically noted to be excluded, like chandelier in the dining room or table and chairs sitting in the garage, then we'll make sure we note that too. But it's all about the details, guys. And yeah, that definitely helps, and it'll help avoid some pitfalls later. All right, so let's get to the fun part. So our third topic is some more this or that, my friends. All right, are you ready? Okay, get your fingers going. Get them going, because I had so much fun with this before. And I don't have as many this time. I just did a few because sorry about that. I had to get a sip of water. It's water today, guys. It's water. Can you tell it's water? It's just water. Just getting a little goopy, I guess. Anyway, all right, so let's do some this or that. I want to know what you think, and then we're going to add some more next week too. By the way, next week, what is next week? Next week's the 15th. Yeah, so we've got a couple more coffee times before, and we will be doing coffee time the Monday before Christmas. So if you are so inclined, if you're not crazy with last minute things, feel free to join us then too. All right, this or that. Are you ready? Okay, so in your house, when you have friends, family, guests, whoever is coming over, or maybe it's just you and your kids, do you do a holiday cocoa station or a holiday cookie bar? Or if you don't do either of those, which one would you prefer? Maybe as a guest or maybe for the one putting it together. Do you do the hot cocoa station or the holiday cookie bar? So I'm so sorry. I don't know what is like stuck back there, but I do a crock pot hot cocoa, and that is honestly, it's amazing. I mean, we'll do okay, first of all, I'll tell you some stories about hot cocoa. So a former student of mine named Brittany, she is an adult woman now. She's got 2 children of her own, married, and I love that. I've been around long enough that my little girls that I used to teach are now grown women. But when she was dancing at my dance studio, as a girl, for the holiday time, we'd have our holiday parties, and she and her mom and dad, I guess, they would all make a powdered hot cocoa mix, and they'd put it in this big jar, and it was the best. It was like truly the best. It was better than the Swiss Miss. It was better than the Nestle. It was amazing. And it just kind of melted right in. And when the kids would come in from being in the cold or for the light snowfall that we might get when they were growing up, they would come in and we would have that hot cocoa, and it was amazing. Well, I've tried to make it a few times myself, but just like anything, it's never as good when you make it. It's like whoever, like grandma makes it, it's better. When they made it, it was better. But I have that recipe, and that makes a big batch. So if you're, last year I gave all of my neighbors baskets with like cups with lids and stirs and like all the hot cocoa stuff and some of the mix for them. I did that last year for my neighbors. But anyway, that's a good thing. But I also make the hot cocoa in the crock pot. That is the best. And that's when I'll do the hot cocoa bar and we have all the little toppings, the caramel toppings or the little marshmallows or the little peppermint, crushed peppermint stuff. So, or the little marshmallow spoon stirs or the chocolate spoon stirs. Anyway, so I do that. Holiday cookie bar. I don't think I've done a cookie bar. I think maybe one time when I had a holiday party. Anyway, all right, so let's see. Oh, King of Miami whiskey bar. Well, that one wasn't a choice, my friend, but I hear you. All right, so look and see. Hey, Amy Carmody, how are you? So Pam, cookie, Sydney, cookie, Tracy, cookie. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of cookies. Wilderness, cookie, John, cookie. Oh my gosh, Melody, cookie, King of Miami, whiskey. Cracks me up. Elizabeth, hot cocoa. Well, I wonder why, because that's our tradition, girl. Jane, cookie. Elizabeth, odd one out, I guess. Cookie bar with cocoa on the side, says Kim. Like that. That's a good idea. Melody, what would I do without you? Melody, I need to get you a special little prize. Reminder, if you can, please be sure to hit the like button. Our girl needs the likes. Seriously, stop it. I love you guys. Okay. Tracy, I've never tried the cocoa bar. Maybe that's my problem. Honestly, the hot cocoa bar is really fun. And I even bought, a couple years ago, I bought a special little dish just for the Christmas hot cocoa thing to put all the stuff in. And now as I've unpacked all of that, I'm like, why did I buy that? Anyway, all right. So hot cocoa or holiday bar. Looks like the cookie bar won. All right. Heated floors or plush holiday rugs. Now this one, I know if you're in Florida, you're like, heated floor? Yeah, no, thank you. But for those of you, because I know that my clients are all over the place, and I have a lot of clients up north who have their secondary home in Florida, but their primary is in the north. And then there's clients that are in Virginia where it does get cold, especially in Northern Virginia. So, so if you had the choice, let's just put it this way, real estate terms. If you had the choice and you were in a colder environment, would you like heated floors or a plush holiday rug? I definitely think the holiday rug, me too. I love that. Now, if my dogs would just be good and not decide to mark it, that would be fabulous. But yeah, rug. Everyone loves this. Rugs. Yeah, by the way, it was so funny. So I found in my garage the other day, and I have to watch time here because I got to make sure I get out early. I found in my garage. So I used to have the Ruggables, right? And we talked about Ruggable. We talked about Ruggable and Tumble rugs one day and how I've had both and the comparing of them. Not sponsored by them. But I had a lot of Ruggables in my house and I swapped out for like you can take, because once you have like, I call it Velcro because that's what it looks like, feels like, sticks like. The Velcro base of the Ruggable, like you keep those, but then you can buy other rugs and just change them out. So I changed them out all to these holiday rugs. And the first ones that I ordered, I meant to return because they came out with other ones that I liked better. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to order the other ones and then I'll return those other ones. Well, I never returned them. I missed the date of returning them. This was all during chaos. And then I found them the other day. They're in the garage, except that now I don't know where all of the Velcro pieces are. Plus I switched to tumble rugs because it has like a foam mat. Anyway, point is I would also do the holiday plush rug. But I've got some extra rugs out there that they aren't quite plush, but they're holiday, but I haven't used them yet. Okay. All right. So everyone looks like they holiday rugs. Melody, however, now that I'm living in a fifth wheel, heated floor of the rug. I'm with you there. That sounds good. All right. Big yard display or small charming porch. Okay. I ask this because we talk all the time, not all the time, but we talked before about like how when I was a kid, my dad, like we would go through the neighborhoods and look at the Christmas decorations. And it was usually candles in people's windows and their tree that was kind of shining through the curtains in the front window. Maybe a plastic Santa on the porch, but it was never to the extreme that you see now. And are you the type of person where you want lots of flash twinkling lights, big display, giant inflatables? Or do you want something that's a little bit more small and subdued, but still beautiful and cozy and classic? Small charming porch, says King of Miami. Charming porch, says Tracy. There you go. Pam, charming porch with subtle yard display and white lights. Love that. John, charming porch. Well, that's good that you're married because you both chose the same thing. Let's see. King of Miami. I think I mentioned that. Yard display says Sydney. Big one. James says yard display. I love it. Well, you guys need to send some pictures maybe of your yard displays that you do and send them to me. Ames said lots of lights. Yes. So in the house that we sold, the house, the house that we sold, I sold. Um, After Eric passed, we had done, that was the dream home, right? So I had all the soffit lights. So instead of having to hang, although I will say I like the hanging icicle lights and the draped lights much better, or whatever. I just think they look better. But we did do the soffit lights, and so we could change them to red or green or twinkle or white or back and forth and all the fancy stuff. Don't have those now. I don't think I would get them again. I mean, I loved them. They were certainly nice, but honestly, at this age and stage, I'm like, I'm just, I don't know. I don't need it. But anyway, I think for me, probably a subtle porch with a lot of like garland and light on the porch railing would be nice. And maybe something that lights up, some candles or some topiaries or something that's kind of lit up on the porch. I saw somebody the other day and I think it looked lovely. They had an actual Christmas tree on the front porch with lights. That was beautiful. I was like, oh, maybe I'll try that. Anyway, so that's nice. All right, so let's do overnight guests or holiday pop-ins. Oh, here you go. Do you want people to come over and hang out and stay with you in or around or during the holiday season? Or would you rather have someone just kind of come in? First of all, I know that the answer to this is it depends. It depends on who it is. But if you're just talking some guests, friends, or family, are you kind of, do you want them to stay and do you want to house them? Or would you prefer just kind of a quick pop-in? For me, pop-ins are not great with the dogs and my life. Just somebody just showing up at my doorstep usually gets me more upset than anything, just because I need to know what's going on, because my schedule and my life is a little bit more regimented, and to have an impromptu pop over. Now, if I know you're coming and you're gonna pop over for a few minutes, then that's heavenly. That's lovely. Yeah, I think for me, I might be an overnight guest person too, just because then I know they're coming, and I can set aside time to give them quality time. When Eric was sick, Susan, I don't know when it was, but it must have been around Christmas time, because you helped me put up one of my trees up in the media room. But like, I knew Susan was coming. She was coming to help out and to visit, and Eric wasn't doing well. And so she was there for me and for a visit and for Eric and extra hands. And knowing that somebody was coming was wonderful, because then I was able to set aside some time. You know what? I know when it was. Now it was in November. Anyway, all right. And Susan responds, house everyone. Yes. I actually like that. I'm excited to have people that come and stay, as long as I know they're coming. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is holiday dinner, in or out? I think I probably know the answer to this one. Do you want your holiday meal in your house, cooking it, or with your family inside the house, or do you go out? Because I've actually heard a lot of people going out. That's kind of their tradition now. They don't want to deal with the mess. They don't want to deal with the hassle. They want to be able to just sit and laugh and talk and enjoy each other. So they go out. I don't know. I'm still in, I think. I still think that's what the holidays are for, is to kind of be in and be messy, and literally and figuratively. All right, now I just dripped it all over me, but no, whatever. Okay. Yep, everyone's in. If you do go out, where do you go? Like, what restaurants are open? I don't know what would be open, but all right. Wreath or bow? We're gonna keep going because I gotta get out of here. Wreath or bow? Are you the person on your front door? Do you do the big, giant, beautiful wreath, or do you do a big, giant bow, or do you do something smaller, or do you do neither? But yeah, wreath or bow? I'm a wreath person. Maybe bows at the end of the railing of the porch, like to step down if you've got a porch, or maybe like over the garage, or bows. I have done bows around the carriage lights, the lights on either side of your garage door. Those are called carriage lights. Bows there. I've also done wreaths there too. But anyway, I think I've done both, but I think if I did the front door, it's going to be a wreath. Uh-oh. let's see, what did I just do here? There we go. Okay, Wreath. Oh, Jane says in the UK, it's a big money maker to stay open. Really? Oh, that's interesting. So where would you go, I wonder? That's interesting. Susan says, I want it out so that I don't have, oh, I want it out so that I don't have to do all the work. However, that has been vetoed every time. We never, oh, I'm so sorry. Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne. Fresh wreath. Oh, my friend. Ooh, a fresh wreath. Now that, first of all, that's amazing. Because that smell, right? Walking into your home, that fresh kind of pine and, oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. Like that. I like that one. I should have added that one. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Large kitchen open for, this is kind of in your dream home, I guess, right? Or your home that you have now, if your home is your dream home. A large kitchen that's open for kind of like hosting, walking around that big giant island and everyone just kind of mixing and mingling. Or do you like the dining room for a more intimate setting when it comes to a holiday celebrating with friends and family? I think I like both. I mean, I like our actual meal to be at our table, which it just has been. Like ever since we moved to Florida. Do we have it in Virginia too? Yeah, we did. Yeah. We didn't have a dining room table right away, but when we did eventually get one, that's where we would sit for our meal for our the official meal. Everything else, I kind of like the mixing and mingling. But anytime I had an actual party where it wasn't a sit down meal, where it was just hors d'oeuvres and cocktails and whatever, the kitchen, the big open kitchen on the island, nobody ever sits. Even with that house, true story, even with the gorgeous house, the most beautiful pool backyard ever area, the lanai, the furniture, the TV, the fire pit, everything I could have ever wanted and dreamed of. Still, when we had parties, at Daryl will attest to this, we still stood at the kitchen island. Very rarely did we go out by the pool and sit. I mean, we did, but I remember a lot of times it's like, okay, I'm going to carry the food outside. So like somebody will go out there like to enjoy that part of it. But anyway, but yeah, I think I like both. Okay, now this is for the Floridians out there, or for those of you that visit where they have palm trees. Do you light your palm trees? That's probably one of my biggest things, my biggest adjustments to Florida during the holidays was the warmth, candidly, the warmth and not feeling like it was cozy and it didn't feel like it was the holidays. And it felt weird to wear shorts or short sleeve shirts Christmas morning. It was just weird. It took a lot to get used to. But then the other thing was that there weren't really any big trees that you could decorate. But people would decorate. They would wrap the lights around the trunks of the palm trees. Some people get even into putting some green lights on the palm fronds. I don't even know how they do that, but so where do you land on the palm tree being lit up? Are you light it? Yes or no? King of Miami, he says no. Allie says yes to the lights. Jane says palm tree lights, says Pam. John says not yet, but planning to do so. Gary, hi Gary, how are you, my friend? Palm trees, no, need evergreen trees. I know, right? It's weird. It's weird. And then Kim says, I love when the palm trees are decorated with lights. Yeah, so there's a community called Stony Brook, off of Stony Brook West Parkway, Stony Brook, that they line the entrance with palm trees and they light up all the palm trees. And that's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. If you've gone to that level, it can be really, really, really kind of eye-catching. Anyway, so that's a good one. All right, let's go on to the last one. Whoa, what did I just do? I touched it. There we go. Amy's going to mess it up. Okay. The last one is host a party or attend a party. So are you the person that likes to be the one to organize it and have everybody come to your house? Or are you the person who likes to get dressed up or just get casual and go to somebody else's? What kind of person are you? I am the host person. If I'm going to do something where I have friends and family coming over, I would rather be at my own house. I would rather be at my own house for sure. But what about you guys? I still like you guys. It's so funny. Host. Oh, Jane says attend. Pam? Oh, Pam says host and attend. So that's good. I like that too. Attend. Can't handle the mess, says Jane. Kim says host. Me too, girl. King of Miami says host. Tracy says attend. Okay, so this is one where we're kind of getting mixed reviews on it as to whether or not you want to be the one that hosts the party or whether you are the one that wants to go out and go to somebody else's house. That's a weird one, right? Because yeah, very different viewpoints on that one. I want to be in my own house. I want to have access to everything I need to have access to. I want to make people feel comfortable and welcomed. And then I feel remember, for those of you that think you know me but don't know me, and those of you that really do know me, I'm actually an introvert, a big time introvert. So going to events, not with you one-on-one, not even with a small group of people, but if I know you, but if it's a thing where I don't know all the people and it's a place that I'm not familiar with, the introvert in me kind of chickens out. So in other words, I love you, but don't ask me to attend one of your events because it'll wreck me. Okay. All right. Anyway. Okay. Roxanne says attend my daughter's Christmas Eve party. That's nice. That's very nice. I like that. Now, obviously when I was a kid, you don't really have a choice. You're not hosting. And I love going to everybody else's houses, to grandma and granddaddy's, and to my granny's house, or to cousin's house, or friend's house, or neighbor's houses. But when you get older, I think that perspective is a little bit different. Okay. Well, that was fun. All right. Let's move on because it is already 9:48 and I got to zoom. All right. Let's go through secret. Okay, so this is, again, just a reminder of what we talked about last week. Help us launch, please. Monday coffee time for the rest of December is going to be followed by a YouTube premiere. We are still posting other videos on Wednesdays and Fridays, both for Orlando and Richmond. Again, we're trying to get Richmond up off the ground, so it might be a little video heavy with that for the homes for the holidays. But feel free, please, actually stay with us today after coffee time and watch that premiere. I think it is the Jefferson floor plan. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to watch it together and see. But yes, if you haven't already, it would mean the world to me if you could go ahead and subscribe to the Heart and Home Richmond YouTube channel as well. Like it, watch the video. If you can comment, all of those things helps us get started. Only if you are so inclined. Okay, only if you are so inclined. I'm not a pusher person. One of the things that I have always been very proud of. And maybe there's no reason to be proud of it. But it goes back to that authenticity. There are ways that you can pay for subscribers. If you didn't know this, you can pay for subscribers. You can pay for views on a video, but I've never done that. I will never do that. There are a lot of people that are like, I have a zillion viewers. I'm like, but if it's a robot or someone who's not really watching, what's the point? Like I'm in it to help you, a real person who might like to buy a home or sell a home. It doesn't do me any good if it's a robot. I mean, to me, it defeats the purpose. I think people are in it for weird reasons. But at any rate, so my point is, I'm very, very grateful because we had a great first day and launch of Heart and Home Richmond. You guys really came through. So if you don't mind hanging out with me again today, or sharing it, or or just helping out however you can to help get us going and growing, that would be fantastic. All right, I'm going to keep going. Then let's go to wishes. Okay, I am really hoping this one closes today. Joanne and Alan, we are supposed to finally be closing on that gorgeous townhome over in Hawksmoor in Horizon West. Today is the closing date. We should be good to go. I think I may have put them on here last week, and if I did, well, they're getting it twice. But yeah, they're supposed to be closing literally today, so we're excited about that. Allie, thank you. She has posted for us the Sims model, which is in Horizon West, or actually it's in Claremont, more in Wellness Way area. It is a Trinity Family Builders over there at Ridgeview. So that is a beautiful one. If you missed that one we did, I think, on Wednesday. And then we have the Stewart model, which is, I think, the one that we are doing today. No, we did that one already. I don't know. Ask Allie. She knows what's going on. All right, let's keep going. Let me pull this one off. Okay, let me go to Scoop. Okay, so it kind of goes to where Allie was kind of posting everything. So if you were with us last week, we did premiere that beautiful, amazing 4-story, because it had the basement and the attic, Lancaster model home. But we still, because it's our homes for the holidays, we're still putting other videos out there throughout the course of the week. So make sure that you're paying attention. We did the Stewart model, and we also did the Sim. So like I said, we've got some Orlando and some Richmond in there. It's going to be funny because you're going to be able to tell the different architectural styles, and you're probably going to start to go, oh, I know exactly where that one is. All right, love it. Okay, let's keep going. Listing. Okay, so our listing spotlight, we had this one before, folks. This is the one that we talked about last week. We took it off the market for a few months just because the builder was selling their own villas directly beside these, and it was just too much competition with the builder. The builder's now sold theirs, so now we are back on the market. If you are looking for a beautiful villa, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,574 square feet, is that right? 1,574 square feet. Listed at $435. This is in the 55 plus community of Del Webb Oasis. Right there, guys. Like literally like what? Maybe 3 minutes from the back arches at Disney. Right there by Western Way, Flamingo Crossing area, in the whole Ovation area. It's absolutely amazing. So beautiful, beautiful marble floors, custom closets. They did a lot of beautiful upgrades after they closed on the home. So this one is available, whether it is for a primary residence or whether maybe you're 55 or better and looking for a vacation home or your own second snowbird home. I have a lot of clients that purchased in this community, and they all absolutely love it. So if you're interested in that one, let me know. We also have our the other one that's going to be closing on December 26th. Beautiful Windermere townhome, also 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. This is right across from Disney cast member parking in a beautiful townhome complex. Roof was replaced not too long ago. The exterior has been repainted here recently. All of that's done by the HOA, but it has been done. So that is a great find. Mineola 2-story, again, another lovely house out in that direction. And then we also have the Winter Garden Horizon West. This is an encore renovation by MI Homes. It's the Newport floor plan, if you're familiar with that. We also have another beautiful Yorkshire floor plan at Estates at Lakeview Preserve. And then we have the Hawksmoor townhome. This is the one, bottom right-hand corner. How tired are you of looking at that? That's the one that's supposed to be closing today. So hopefully next week it's off of the list. All right, let's go real fast. Okay. Okay, I found 2 shows and I am so excited because I've been pretty bummed lately that I haven't found anything that I like to watch. I mean, I can, but it's like I don't have a plethora. I don't have an abundance of options because the algorithm tells you what you should probably like based on what you said you liked. So I somehow got to a quick little mini series called My Mother and Other Strangers. So I watched that and I liked it, and then it gave me several suggestions. So I saw My Mother and Other Strangers. I actually really liked that. I enjoyed it. And then I also watched another good one called The Luminaries. Never heard of any of these before, and I'm very excited to have found them. So now it's now gone. I'm going down this path of all of the genre that kind of fits here. But both of those are good watches. Neither of them are particularly holiday based or themed. But they're a good thing for me to snuggle up at the end of the night and, just kind of have a little something to watch and love it. Pam Hickman says Broadchurch is a great series. I have seen Broadchurch. I don't think I saw the last season though, so I'm going to go check that one out. Thank you, Pam, for that one. All right, let's go to Baby. right, Easton had his first snowfall. Look at that kid. Oh my gosh, the cuteness factor is just off the chart. So there's Easton with his first snowfall. He's so cute. I can't stand it. I love that middle picture. The look of wonder in his eyes when he woke up to pull the curtain back and see that beautiful snowfall. Seriously, that's pretty awesome for him. I'm excited that they did that. And let's see where else, because I gotta finish this up. Oh, I know what. This is super important, so I'm gonna do this one. All right, this. What I'm gonna do the bump. She gets the whole thing. Okay, so sorry, Diane. I kind of blew the open. I just have to give Diane S. I don't want to say her full name, just because I didn't ask. But I just got the most beautiful email from her, just randomly. Not a client, not anyone that I've ever met, but someone who, like many of you, watch, not always commenting, because sometimes it's being watched, at a different time, and it was just really funny. She just was very, very kind, and the title of the email was "Why I Watch Coffee Time," and made me cry a little bit, not gonna lie. But what was really sweet is she told a story about how where in the community that she lives in, we were doing an open house at one of the listings in her neighborhood. And I guess this was back when Eric was here, and Eric had, he would always go put out all the open house signs for me. And so he must have put one in or near or close to her yard or something. And she, I believe she said she was just very excited because, one of the Kidwells had been in her yard, and she was very excited. And I think she had gone to the open house. I don't know if it was that one or if it was another one, but Eric was there. I was not there. I think I had just left to go to another open house. And so I missed meeting her, but she did have a chance to meet Eric. And I hear stories like that all the time. And that makes me happy. And honestly, it's that unexpected, random little message of someone, kind of giving me some love. So with that love, I'm going to give it back to you because, oh my gosh, I got to go. So let's do this. So stay tuned right after this because we're going to premiere in a few seconds. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up and tell you, please stay safe, stay well. Remember, I love you. Stay tuned for the premiere in a few seconds. Oh my gosh, I did it. I love you guys. See you next week, and I'll see you during the premiere right now.